some years ago, I was invited to open the Israel Festival by a high wire walk, and I chose to put my wire between the Arab quarters and the Jewish quarter of Jerusalem over the Ben Hinnom Valley. And I thought it would be incredible if in the middle of the wire I stop and I, like a magician, I make appear a dove and send her in the sky as a living symbol of peace. Well, now, I must say it was a little bit hard to find a dove in Israel, but I got one. And in my hotel room, each time I practice making it appear and then throwing her in the air, she will graze the walls and end up on the bed. So I thought, no, it's okay. I mean, the room is too small. I mean, a bird needs space to fly. It will go perfectly on the day of the walk. Now comes the day of the walk. 80,000 people spread over the entire valley. The mayor of Jerusalem, Teddy Kollek, comes to wish me the best, but he seemed nervous. I mean, there was tension in my wire, but I also could feel tension on the ground. Because actually all those people were made of people who, well, for the most part, considered each other enemies. So I start the walk. Everything is fine. I stop in the middle. I make the dove appear. People applaud in delight. And then, in a most magnificent gesture, I send the bird of peace into the azure. But the bird, instead of flying away, goes flop, 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 and ends on my head. And people scream. So I grab the dove, and for the second time, I send her in the air. But the dove, who obviously didn't go to flying school, does flop, 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 and ends up at the end of my balancing pole. So now, you laugh, but hey, I sit down immediately. It's a reflex of wire walkers. Now, in the meantime, the audience, they go crazy. I mean, they must think this guy with his dove, he must spend years working. I mean, what a genius, what a professional. So I take a bow, I salute with my hand, and at the end, I bang my hand against the pole to dislodge the bird. Now, the dove, who, now obviously cannot fly, does for the third time a little flop, 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 and ends up on the wire behind me. And the entire valley goes crazy. Now, but hold on, I'm not finished. So now I'm like, 50 yards from my rival. And I'm exhausted, so my steps are slow. And something happened. Somebody somewhere, a group of people start clapping in rhythm with my steps. And within seconds, the entire valley is applauding in unison with each of my steps, but not an applause of delight like before, an applause of encouragement. For a moment, the entire crowd had forgotten their differences. They had become one, pushing me to triumph. You know what? I want you just for a second to experience this amazing human symphony. So let's say I am here and the chair is my rival, okay? So I walk, you clap, everybody in unison.